Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Slow Burn Pro Wrestling Podcast, where all professional wrestling storylines live. As always, I am your host, Matt Brandon, coming to you here on this lovely, actually, it's not lovely, it's a very gross Wednesday afternoon, early evening. And folks, what we're going to do today, fairly simple. It's our normal Wednesday routine. We're going to recap Raw. Oh, wow, do we got a lot to talk about? We're going to recap NXT. Holy shit, let's see if any shows can get that good this week. And then obviously we will preview AEW Dynamite tonight. Guys, I cannot freaking wait for Dynamite tonight. I have been very excited for Dynamite cards lately. I'm excited for all the cards. We all know that at this point in time. But like this Dynamite card tonight has some extra little special to it. And I'm going to go over all that. Hopefully we have time to go over it in depth. We shall see where the time goes. I don't know if you guys realize, I try to keep these things to around a half hour. All right, except for the Saturday shorts, which I try to keep around a half hour. No, I want to do those in 15 to 20, but some days it just can't happen. But that's all my thing. So anyway, we got a lot to go over. I got a lot to start with. So let's go ahead and get started. One thing I want to mention before we get into Raw, guys, a local change. I know I mentioned this the other day on Monday on the show, but PWE, Phoenix Wrestling Experience, they were supposed to tomorrow night, which is the 20th of February, they were hosting a show at SRP Park here in North Augusta, South Carolina, right across the river from Augusta, Georgia, the home of the Augusta Green Jackets. And that show has been postponed. Notice I did not say canceled because that show is not canceled. I saw somebody actually put that on a Facebook post earlier, and I wanted to make sure the show is not canceled. The show is postponed, and it is rescheduled for March 20th. Same bell times, everything's going to be the same. The card may be subject to change, but what the hell, it's pro wrestling, so we all know that. So remember, March 20th now, PWE. I'm not exactly sure how the ticketing situation works because I know you didn't go through PWE for this. You went through SRP Park and the Green Jackets for this one. So I'm not going to reach anything out as far as ticketing and how the refunds are going to be done and everything of that sort. However, I will tell you that the thing is changed. We're going to be there. Come see the slow burn, but we got a lot of time before we get there, and I'll keep pubbing it. Going to try to get some other stuff going for that PWE event as we move forward too. So, with that said, I want to get to Monday Night Raw, guys. Raw, it had its ups, it had its downs. The open was great. The open was great. I love the Sami Zayn open. In all honesty, anytime Sami Zayn opens the show, I'm good with it because the energy is just kicked off on such a high level. But basically, the Sami Zayn open was pretty simple. Although you kind of got a view of what was going to happen here. You didn't have to be a fortune teller, a psychic, to kind of figure this out. Adam Pearce comes out. Sammy basically says, I want KO. I want KO at Elimination Chamber. Now, my original thought here is that they would build this to WrestleMania. I'm still not so sure that this isn't a WrestleMania build. However, this first match that they're going to do at Elimination Chamber is going to be unfreaking real. I already going to tell you, whoever goes on after that show, I don't give a damn if it's the Elimination Chamber coming at it for them after this for the main event. It doesn't matter. Whatever comes on after this, good friggin' luck. That's all I can tell you because Sammy and KO are going to steal the show. Number one, they always steal the show. Number two, this style of match is going to lead to fireworks. So Sammy comes out. He asks for his match. He wants to take on KO. Adam Pearce comes out. By the way, big up Adam Pearce. Love someone today. Love somebody today, I should say. The greatest post every single day on the Facebook machine. But Adam Pearce comes out, the GM, and he says, you're not cleared. I can't sanction this. And Adam Pearce's thing is, it's official, and he said he couldn't sanction it. It couldn't be official. It's nothing that could happen. And basically the show was over at that point. He's going to walk off into the sunset. Well, Sammy calls him out. Pearce goes into all this thing. This is what KO could do to you. He could dump you on the head. He could fight you in the concourse. He could kill your mom. Like, he could do all of this stuff to you. And then Sammy, so passionate, like right in his face. This is what I could do to him. Basically saying everything you just named, not only can I do this to him, but I will do this to him because it's an unsanctioned match. So basically, Adam Pearce is building this up. Like, what's getting ready to happen. I can't sanction this match. I can't make it official, but I could give you a non-sanctioned match. And that was such a freaking great play. The whole idea of it's not official, it's unsanctioned. I mean, guys, I know sometimes that stuff is very corny, but golly, it's friggin' professional wrestling, and I don't give a damn if you think it's corny or not. It's absolutely amazing, and we're going to deal with it, and I can't freaking wait. More on this match. You know the match is set up. As I said, this match is going to be the banger of all bangers for this night on Elimination Chamber. It's just going to show us a lot. But what I'm telling you, my prediction is this is not a one-off. I still think we're going to get Sammy and KO some way, some form at WrestleMania. Now, how that works out, I don't know. Excuse me. The big rumor. Here I go again, yawning because I fucking worked all day. But here I go again. I'm going to go ahead and say the rumor is that there's going to be a run-in here. And the big rumor is the run-in will probably be Randy Orton. First off, I hope not. I really hope not. I would like for this, I mean, it's unsanctioned, so it ain't going to be clean. Matter of fact, I expect it to be very bloody. But Randy Orton being involved in an unsanctioned is kind of weird to me, especially since Randy's playing the babyface role right now. We're gonna get Randy back. We know Randy's coming back. He'll be back by Mania for sure, and maybe he injects himself into this storyline. However, this is Canada versus Canada in Canada. I'm not really sure where the St. Louis boy fits in there. Okay. And again, I know the story link. Like, we can sit here and talk about that all we want, but we also need to think about the fact that we have Canada versus Canada in Canada. Sami Zayn, Canadian. KO, Canadian. Elimination Chamber taking place in Toronto, Canada. Like, okay, like, why would we interject anything else? That is enough. And to be honest with you, the Canadian crowd might turn on Randy that night, and I don't think that that's the way you want to lay this out, unless we get the Randy heel turn that I am so dying to get. So, and I say that we haven't seen Randy in how long, and then I'm still like clamoring for the heel turn. So, yeah, I love that opener. I really did. I love the opening segment. I thought it was really good. I thought Adam Pearce made the segment as well as Sami Zayn. Though Sammy's so damn good. He's so passionate. You know what he's going to get. By the way, I saw the higher El Generico sign once again. You got to love that. Anytime I see an El Generico sign, I'm freaking just popping like nobody's business. But so yeah, I'm okay with this setup. I'm okay with the match setup. I'm curious if they do the run in. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't. I think it's going to be the match of the matches that night. So moving on, what we had, I was so excited for the AJ Styles Dominic Mysterio match. I actually pubbed that a little bit on Monday when I saw that was on the card. It was one of those things that I thought, okay, Dom has gotten so much better. You know what you're going to get with AJ. But to be honest with you, the match kind of fell flat for me. It wasn't, I mean, it just seemed like there was so much of the lead up in the beginning, and then it kind of fell a little flat. I just didn't see it to be great. I mean, it wasn't a bad match. Both workers were great, but I just didn't see it. However, what we did see is the setup for AJ Braun Breaker. All right. And Braun coming in, he's going to spear the hell after the match. AJ takes out Dom. AJ takes out Dom fairly easy. We know that. I mean, it's a good match. It was quality. I'm glad that they let Dom get in a lot of offense. But at the same time, you have Braun, and Braun's destroying everybody. However, he hasn't got somebody as wily as AJ Styles, and that's what we see. He totally gets out of the way on the spear. He spears the hell out of Dominic Mysterio, spears him straight to hell. Like, that was freaking fantastic. So the match that might have missed gave us this lead up to an Intercontinental title match that we're probably going to get. What do you think, Mania? Maybe, I don't know. Doesn't seem like they stretch the IC stories out that long anymore, but regardless of where we get it, I don't care if it's at a damn house show. I'm watching Braun Breaker and AJ Styles. There's no secret of my love for AJ Styles. The guy's one of the greatest to ever do it. So that setup's going to be great. The other thing I really enjoyed about that match, besides that part, was there was a lot of TNA mentions in that. Guys, AJ is considered the greatest of all time in TNA. I mean, he is TNA. You know, to be honest with you, when I think of TNA, I think of him, and I mean, I hate to say it, but I think of Kurt Angle. I think of LAX, Conan, things like that. But like AJ is TNA, and having Pat scream about the TNA kick, like having Michael Cole mention TNA and the run that AJ had in that. Like here again, we're cross promoting here. You know, we're opening that forbidden door, and it's going to allow us to fantasy book. Which, by the way, can't wait to get to NXT so I can talk about some fantasy booking. But yeah, that was a great little segment. I thought the match could have been better, but the segment itself wasn't bad. We had the Dakota Kai versus Ivy Nile match for the IC title #1 contender. Guys, I'm not going to spend much time on this. Matter of fact, I don't want to spend any time on this. It didn't work for me. I'm a huge Dakota Kai fan. I think she does really good work. Ivy Nile that match seemed off. The timing was off. I just didn't really enjoy it. Lyra sitting outside. Why not have her on commentary? Like, let's hear that. Let's try to spice that up a little bit. Instead, she's just standing there, or I shouldn't say that. She's sitting there with the strap over her shoulder, watching as nothing else happens. Like, it didn't make a whole lot of sense for me. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it. That women's title, and I was so excited to have a women's IC title. It's needed, but it seems like the belt's losing steam a little bit. So we need to match this back up. And guys, Lyra is so good. Like there's so much potential with that, but I kind of get the feeling because of the fact that we've lost so much steam that Lyra is going to be losing this belt to Dakota Kai. I think they're going to put gold on Dakota and maybe create another path for Lyra. But right now, that just seems like the title's not working. So, but I'll tell you what is working. Gunther and Jey Uso. Uh, Gunther coming out of the crowd like Jay and the explanation. I wanted to see what it felt like. And by the way, as he's walking down those stairs, you see all those little freaking kids yelling at him. And one little kid who's like freaking like 7 years old, and he's and you could read the lips, and I don't want to say, because we don't say fuck on this show all the time. So, we want to get there. We got children listening. Okay. But that segment was so good. Gunther coming down, saying he wants to feel how Jay feels, but at the whole time, just passive aggressive, taking him out the whole entire way as far as word battling. Jay comes out, though. Eventually, it was almost kind of waiting. It was kind of a surprise entrance here, but Gunther starts attacking the announce team. He starts attacking Michael Cole, especially my boy Pat Mack. Right? So McAfee is almost to the point where he's begging for forgiveness. Gunther calls him out. He's like, you're the yeet guy. You up here, you're dancing. You like doing all your eating. And you could tell, by the way, Pat's facial expressions were so good. I think he was legitimately scared there. If not, he sold the fuck out of it. But so then you have Jay coming in to make the save. Not so fast, Jay. Jay got his ass kicked. Once again, it's like Gunther up at the Atlanta show, and I kicked his ass. And that's exactly what happened here. Hey, guys, we're going to get 9 more weeks of Gunther kicking Jay's ass. I got news for you. It's just how this is going to go. We are building the underdog. We're also building heat on the heel. And my God, this version of Gunther with this heat that he's getting, and a lot of it is because of the overness of Jay, but this is great. And this main event, we are going to build and build and build. I read a dirt sheet earlier. I'm not going to give it any credence because it was that stupid. But a dirt sheet that I read earlier said that this is not going to work moving forward. It's going to fall flat. There's no way Gunther can keep this up for. Are you watching the same damn thing I'm watching? Are you seeing what's going on with Jey Uso right now? He's over more than freaking Rover, and now all of a sudden it's not going to work. Guys, he's going to be the biggest underdog in the history of WrestleMania by the time we get there. And when they put that strap on him, everyone's going to go crazy. We're going to have 80,000 fucking people yeeting their asses off, and I can't wait. I, for one, I'll be yeeting in my living room. I'll yeet the hell out of it right in my living room. We'll all yeet. I'll yeet, Brock will yeet, Lisa will yeet. Well, the whole family, we're just going to we're yeeters. That's what's going to happen that night. Unless Jimmy's out there, then I'm no yeet. So yeah, that part, God, it was so good. I'm so good with this. Some of the other stuff, guys, that build to me is how a build should be done. And I think some of the other stuff we're getting, I don't know if I maybe think it's just secondary right now at this point, because it kind of is, but like some of it's just not hitting. Again, like last week, I was kind of down on the show. This week, it wasn't bad, but it had a lot of downs. And one of the biggest downs for me actually was Penta versus Pete Dunne. I didn't enjoy this match. I didn't enjoy the Kaiser interaction. Guys, I like all three of these dudes. I just don't see the progression. And I'm going to call it what it is. And it's no disrespect to anyone, but is Penta supposed to be stuck here? Like, are we supposed to be doing a rotation of Penta, Kaiser, and Pete Dunne, and then maybe we'll throw somebody else? Like, I don't get that. It doesn't really flow with me. I mean, Penta is so if you outside of freaking Jay and Cody Rhodes, who's more over right now than Penta? Like, seriously, Sato, Miedo, like, really? I just think that we can do more than this. All right, I think we can do more. The only other thing I really want to talk about: New Day had a promo. It was good. We created more heat. I want to talk about Roxanne and Raquel. Number one, I told you guys, I called this. I actually made this one out to a T. Now, with that said, I missed a shit ton on Raw this week, but this one, I might as well have wrote the damn story. I told you guys we were going to see Bianca and Naomi come down. It was going to cause friction. There was going to be issues. By the way, Liv took a freaking beating in this match. Like, legit, there was some potatoes there that she got freaking served up on her damn head. Bianca looked great, but saw that happening. We're setting up the tag match between Bianca and Naomi, taking on Liv and Raquel. This is probably where we're going to see the Jade interaction. This is where we're going to see that transition of who done it. Like, was it actually Liv and Raquel? Was it Naomi? Was it Bianca? Like, we'll see. I think that that's where this story progresses, and I'm okay with that. That's good. I think we're getting good story out of this, and I'm good with it. It's just as long as Raquel, continues to lose, because that's what needs to happen. Sorry, it is what it is. I'm sorry. I respect you. I respect all of it. You guys know I love professional wrestling. I respect every aspect of it, but that is not my cup of tea. It's just not my flavor. It's not working for me. Kind of like my feelings on Bobby Lashley. I know a lot of people love him. Not my cup of tea. Okay, it's just how it goes. So that brings us to the main event, guys. I missed on the main event. Seth over Finn. By the way, the match was phenomenal. You knew you were going to get a freaking great match out of Seth and Finn here. But I will say, out of all the times I've seen Seth and Finn, which has basically been every time they've ever hooked up, this was not their best. But when you got two guys that can go like this, I mean, hell, they could have went out there and freaking thumb wrestled, and it would have been good because they would have sold the hell out of it. By the way, I still say it. No one sells like Finn Balor. All right, no one sells like Finn Balor, period. The match was good. The match, again, not their best as I look at my notes. Seth going to the chamber, though. Again, I thought Finn would go over here because I thought we would create something new moving forward. What I think we're going to get here is Finn versus Dom down the road. Maybe not quite in the next week or two, but I think we're eking towards that. Now that both guys lost, we're probably going to see a little head-to-head. Who's the leader of the Judgment Day? I'd love to see Dom take over the Judgment Day and let Finn go his separate way. I don't know, just a personal opinion of mine. I think Finn is better on his own. That's the way I am. With that said, though, he's the freaking founder of the Bullet Club, one of the greatest factions of all time. So yeah, the match was good. Now, the biggest thing on this is going to be Seth in the freaking chamber. You are going to get insane Seth in the chamber. You're going to get a very interesting, off the wall Seth in this chamber. I mean, who the hell is he going to go after, right? Look at all these people in there that Seth has beef with. You got Punk, you got Logan Paul, you got Drew McIntyre. He's had wars with Damian Priest. Like, in all honesty, this whole freaking Elimination Chamber is going to be fantastic. And now that I see it break down like this, Seth might end up being one of the funnest parts of it, not named CM Punk. So yeah, great show. I scored it a C plus, so not a great show, but at the same time, not bad. My phone's blowing up right here. We're not live, so it's nothing on this because I know all the 7 of you that listen wouldn't do it live anyway. So that brings me to NXT. I'm gonna have to go a little faster with NXT. I did it again. By the way, the NXT show, probably going to be show of the week. It's going to take a lot to beat it, although Dynamite has the capability of doing so tonight. But I scored NXT a B+. I want to skip a lot of what happened here, but I will say the opening, my God. You know what we got? Moose. I have been clamoring. I said this, I don't even know how many weeks ago, but I've been kind of on this fact that I wanted Moose in NXT to challenge Oba Femi. Okay. Now, we got them face to face last night. We got Moose and Oba Femi face to face. By the way, Moose does not look small like a lot of the other people does next to Oba Femi. So yeah, this matchup's going to be good. It's not going to happen right away. This is a build. This is a slow burn, right? And I think we'll get it eventually down the line. Please, 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 guys, Moose is a freaking high level guy. There's a reason he's been running TNA for as long as he has, and I can't wait. And to get him with more seasoned people like we see in WWE, it's only going to get better. But the other thing is Moose Obafemi. Moose is the seasoned veteran here, and he can only do wonders for what Obafemi has. So I can't wait to see that. Going down the card here, guys, we had a triple threat match: Kalani Jordan versus Carmen Petrovic versus Dana Parker. I missed this one worse than anything. I said it would be Kalani most likely. Wouldn't be surprised if it was Jada, but there was no way in hell it was going to be Carmen Petrovic. Well, Carmen Petrovic won. All right. Carmen won. A little help from Ashante the Adonis. By the way, Ashante does great work. Can we get him back in the ring? Like, I want to see him back in the ring. But I do like this role he's playing with Carmen. That's kind of the lead in here, that the reason Carmen's going to win this match. The other thing we got out of this was Kalani and Jada basically fighting each other forever. They might still be fighting for all we know. I had a tag match: Zarya and Saruka over Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson. Again, another decent tag match. Zarya versus Lash is what I wanted to see more than any of it. We didn't get as much of that as I wanted because basically they really worked. And by the way, they worked well. All four women touching each other throughout, right? That didn't sound good. All four women fighting each other throughout, right? That's probably better. So yeah, overall, I thought it was a decent match, but I want Zarya versus Lash Legend 1-on-1. That's what I want. I think that could be such a good match. I think Zarya has so much potential. By the way, as soon as she turns on Soul, everyone's heart's going to be broke, and then we're going to see the best version of Zarya. It's just a matter of time, all right? And then, what did we get? All right, you guys knew what we were going to get. Ricky Stark. I mean, not Ricky Starks. It's Ricky Stark. I mean, Ricky Saints. Yeah, that's it, right? The formerly known as Ricky Starks makes his contract signing. And then they go in on the Zoom and we see what the name is. The name changed to Ricky Saints. A lot of people are thinking it's stupid. I'm going to give it a shot. All right. I like Ricky Starks. He shows again, or Ricky Saints. He shows again how good he is on the mic. There's going to be very few people that can spar with him on the mic in NXT. He's that good. He's CM Punkish. Let's call it what it is. He's rockish sometimes when it comes on the mic. But love the fact that they set up a Wes Lee matchup with Ricky Starks here, Ricky Saints. When Ethan Page come down to interrupt this, the first instinct I had is really, that's kind of a below the belt jab here, taking Ethan Page coming straight from AEW against Ricky Starks coming straight from AEW, and that's going to be our match. You know, it was just to make your mouth water a little bit, but I did think it was kind of a dick move. Can't say I wouldn't have done the exact same thing, but as an AEW fan, what do you do? But then we got the Javon hitting Ethan Page. That is so far from over, and I can't wait. You guys know, Vengeance Day, I was so big on that match, and I want to see more. However, I'm also very partial. Javon does nothing that I don't like, so it is what it is. So yeah, Wes Lee versus Ricky is going to be a great opener as far as Ricky into NXT. That's going to happen next week on NXT. What else did we get here? As I go down the line here, No Quarter Catch Crew. They challenged somebody. The fucking Hardys, guys. Hardy Boys. The Hardys are coming back to WWE television. Next week, we're going to see Hardy Boys, No Quarter Catch Crew. I have a feeling we're going to see No Quarter Catch Crew have a show up tomorrow night on TNA, which I can't wait to talk about. All right. We're not going to preview TNA tonight. I just don't have time. You'll have to check out my reel that I post in the next day or two. I'll post it tomorrow. All right. I'll give you that preview, but I'll recap it all on Friday, I promise. So No Quarter Catch Crew calls out the Hardys. Lexus King calls out Moose. So we're going to get Lexus King versus Moose next week for Moose's TNA Digital Championship. I would like to see him go title versus title. Throw the Heritage Cup in there too. See what happens. I know that's a lot. By the way, Moose is going to kick Lexus King's ass. We'll probably get an Obafemi sighting as well. Yeah, that wasn't bad. We had Eddie Thorpe. He goes over again. Andre Chase, that whole thing isn't working for me. And I'm not even going to, I don't want to get into it because I don't know. We'll see the direction that they decide to go with it. I didn't dislike Chase U, but now it's just kind of crumbled to the wayside. So let's see what the pieces that they pick up over that one. But after the match, we got a great promo from Trick Williams. Guys, I told you guys last week, we are seeing a new version of Trick Williams. All right. This is a version I like. Nasty, mean, borderline heel, right? We're going to see that. He's going after Eddie Thorpe. This feud is far from over. We're going to get more of this. They could stretch this one out a little bit, especially with the change in attitude to Trick. So, like that. And that brought us to our main event, which formed earlier in the night. Julia and Stephanie Vaquer, they were out in the middle of the ring cutting promo. You had Fatal Influence. Who we got here? JC Jane. Oh my God, Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nix. It always, for some reason, I got Fatal Influence right. Fatal Influence right. But Jordan Grace comes out to save the day on that one. And then we get set up for this 6-man tag match, which was your main event. Jordan, Julia, and Steph go over Fatal Influence. To be honest with you, that's the way it had to be there. I will say, though, again, JC Jane looked fantastic. She fits totally in with that top card right now, whereas I'm not sure that Jasmine and Fallon are ready for the main event yet. They're both fantastic. Fallon, obviously, former title holder with the North American title, but yeah, I just don't know the direction there. But you guys, we're going to get Jordan in this main event scene like that. And I'm going to be honest with you, let's get her to the main roster like that because she's that damn good, okay? If she wants both of those belts from Stephanie or from Julia, should just take them. And you guys know, I think Stephanie Vaquer is the total boss right now, but Jordan is Jordan. So yeah, overall, not a bad show. It ends with Ava in the back tending to Robert Stone, her partner, and Robert's down for the count. And then we see on the wall the writing, "No one is safe." Right? Dion Lennox and his new crew, which they did announce. Guys, I don't remember the names off the top of my head, so I'm not going to go into that whole thing. But this could be an interesting little tactic. Are we getting a NWO-ish feel? They taking over the show now? Maybe a little more violent? I don't know. But it's not going to be a bad situation. So overall, great damn show. Ricky Stark stuff was fantastic. Adding Moose to the mix is fantastic. The women's 6-man match, Jordan, Julian, Stephanie are always fantastic. Like, great freaking show. Scored it a B+. So, nice job. Now, we're about out of time, guys. I want to talk about Dynamite tonight. The card is pretty simple. Chris Statlander versus Megan Bayne. I didn't post that one earlier in my reel on the Facebook machine. Samoa Joe, Katsuyori Shibata, and Hook, the Ops. They're going to be taking on the Patriarchy. Christian, Kip Sabian, Nick Wayne. We're getting the new thing here, all right? It's called the International Championship Series. What happens here, we're getting Orange Cassidy versus Roderick Strong. The winner of that one will take on Takeshita next week for the International Championship on Dynamite, and the winner of that one will take on Kenny Omega at Revolution. All right, so it's a little like a championship series moving forward, a series of 3 matches. Tonight we got Orange over Roderick is what I'm hoping we get, but Orange hadn't been around in a while, so we'll see what happens. But regardless, I love this play. You guys know AEW doing some of these tournaments and things like that, like New Japan does. I love it. Like, this is your niche. Keep going with it. So that match is going to be fantastic. We're going to get a face-to-face Hangman Page and MJF. Give me some Dustin Rhodes here, right? Let Dustin make an appearance. I'm not saying he has to touch anybody. I'm not saying fighting, but let's have an appearance here to kind of continue on that, to transition us to the MJF Hangman Page stuff. And by the way, we're going to get a babyface Hangman. He's coming, but if he can keep this mean streak, could be really, really fun. I'm here for it. Let's give it to me. And then, guys, I don't know if it'll be the main event. I don't know if it'll be the damn opener. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be the match of the week. I don't give a damn what you say right now. We are getting Powerhouse Hobbs. Powerhouse versus Big Bill. By the way, I don't know if you saw the Big Bill stuff from Ring of Honor in Australia this last week. He is the most over guy in foreign countries I have ever seen in my life. Whether it's in Germany, whether it's in England, whether it's in freaking Australia, the dude gets over more than anyone. I mean, the guy's a giant, so obviously so. But we are going to get Big Bill versus my man Powerhouse Hobbs tonight in a street fight. All right, so check it out. AEW tonight, 8 o'clock on TBS. Check that out. And the other things you can check out, guys, is my Facebook machine. Guys, follow, like, subscribe, share. You don't have to do anything as far as money, blah, 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 but help me spread the word. And just think, guys, if each of you could get 3 people, to jump on here, I would have like 12 more people, right? And that's what we're going for. So help me out if you can. I will be back on Friday. We will recap Dynamite. I will recap TNA, and we will preview Friday Night SmackDown. Guys, huge week of wrestling left. We're going to be here for all of it. Thanks for tuning in. This has been the Slow Burn Pro Wrestling Podcast, where all professional wrestling storylines live. And guys, in this world, we are freaking wrestling everything. So stay on top. Thank you.